I forgot to tell you guys again. My battery on my phone was extremely low, so as soon as I turned the power off, my recording stopped. Oh god. Anyway, it got pretty dark for a second. Things were beeping at me. It's crazy. It's nighttime. It's time for me to do something else. I'm running a concurrent experiment that you guys can kind of witness. This is hooked up to a wind turbine controller that I have hooked up to this PWM solar charge controller to see if basically I can get the voltage of this line above 15 volts, if this will confuse the PWM controller into thinking it's a solar charge controller. So far the wind has only spun it up to about 10.4 volts throughout the day. Being that it's raining and a windstorm out there, maybe we'll see that spike up, but I'm gonna turn this off for now and we'll check this a little bit later after the winds have picked up and see if we get any more electricity, and if it can turn this charge controller on to help with charging my battery bank. I doubt it'll be much energy because it's just a little old DC 12 volt motor, but we're gonna experiment with it and from there carry it on to see if we can get a treadmill motor to do the same thing. A couple other things I got in here. I was tried doing what I saw one of these guys doing, the hydroponic system. I'm not sure if it's hydroponic or aquaponics. Anyway, it's a failure because I suck. I cut styrofoam into these things. I try to keep algae from growing by using white, painted it and everything, ran my wires, bought these little rubberized insulated sockets and ran LED grow bulbs in there, 3 in a series, or 3 in parallel actually, and basically grew them inside of there. I put it on a timer. When it's on, this is what it looks like. That's the grow lights being on. I'm afraid to lift the lid because I think I have insects growing in there that scare me right now. So I have a little DC water pump inside of there. The 12 volt pump would hook up to the 12 volt bank directly and basically power what would be a recirculating pump to keep the water from becoming moldy or I don't know, settling or not oxygenating. I figured this is something that's important for the growth of the health or growth of the plant. So anyway, it failed horribly because I got them to bud and they started to grow and then they died. Still haven't taken the plants out, and I'm not going to tonight. I will be covered in bugs, I'm thinking. But anyway, again, don't laugh. It's just a storage house for now. They got toys in here for my 2 kids. They're not going to be with me this week. Unfortunately, I know everybody's going to give me the sad face, but they're not going to be with me because I'm running this experiment. I don't want them running around electrical wires hanging everywhere and water pumps and things like that. So anyway, to continue this tour, this is the room that I had my washer in. I took it to the other house. My wife was telling me I needed to. That's my distilled water for my batteries. This is my freezer. Since the last time I was here, I actually took the ice out. But one cool thing that I found out about these type of chest freezers is basically they keep the cool air inside of there, even though they're not on, for up to 8 hours. So basically, I put a heavy duty timer on there, and I would put mine with the ice in the bottom, maybe 4 inches of ice, 40 pounds, something that costs $2.50. Cover it with ice, put all my sandwich meat, put all of the things that I want in there, and basically have the timer come on 8 times a day, and it froze everything. So, you know, with it coming on 8 times a day for half an hour, it froze everything. I'm thinking I'm going to run it 4 times a day and kind of monitor the temperature via my wireless reader. As you can see, the freezer has been off, so right now it's 78 degrees on the inside of that and 81 on the outside. Again, we want to run this experiment as if we just ran into this place and we're setting everything up. I modified my my hot water from here. It's no longer hot water, but because it was filtered water, I wanted to run that straight into my washer, which is what I was doing. I know a lot of this stuff isn't the code. This house has been abandoned for some time. I'm not a contractor or anything. I just was trying to make things work, and I'm gonna do the same here. Anyway, going back in here, nothing very interesting other than the bedroom. This is where I will attempt to sleep. I will have to, of course, take and unwrap all of these dressers and storage things that I've put in here over time. Got my AC over here ready to cool this room off. Got my chair here for me to sit and sleep in. Got a solar panel that I'm going to put back out. It's not very big in here. As you can see, it's already been painted. I'm liking that. That's about the only thing that I've done to it other than put stuff into it. So once I get all this done tomorrow, I'll show another quick tour of the house. But anyway, for tonight, I've already brought in my little pump that I was able to get already pre-assembled from China for $15 on eBay. I recommend getting it. If you guys do not do this, you will be worried about water, and this is one thing that you need to have. You need to have some way of drinking. You need to have some way of cooking. You need to have some way of, basically having clean water that's guaranteed. Now, I've seen where people have filters, which are great, but you have to have some way of storing that water. And this is my storage 5-gallon thing. These things cost maybe $5 full of water. I have 5 or 6 of them. And this is just to hold mainly drinking water. It has a little power switch on here, on and off. I could turn it on and off right now, but I'd pour water everywhere. But basically, this is what I'll use to keep my drinking water for the next week. Like I said, I have 2 more of these containers. A few more of these containers. This part of the house will be redone. I'm going to have to move some things out. I also have gray water storage here, which is basically 1, 2, 3. I'm missing 1. Oh, there's 1. And I got 2 more in the back. 4 more in the bathroom. Just storage containers for water. For flushing and for washing dishes, things like that. And again, the house is a mess because it wasn't prepared for this. And again, this scenario isn't the perfect one where you just walk in and you're completely ready. This experiment is to see if the average person were to be semi-prepared and they had a place to go and they unloaded their trailer. What would day 1 through 7 look like in setting themselves up? What could they use? What would they have to go without? What things would come up that they need to be prepared for? And that's where I am. One thing before I go to bed tonight, I've been wanting to do this. I was always able to plug in an iron. I was always able to plug in a microwave. I have always been able to plug in like a little small George Foreman. But I'm kind of curious how this inverter would work with everything running. So in the morning when the sun is out, because I'm about to kill this thing tonight, in the morning when the sun's out, I'm going to test and see how this experiment works. And I'll videotape everything. Breakfast, I got to figure that out too, because I don't have anything in the freezer, and I have corn and green beans. Probably going to end up turning on the gas grill outside and cooking myself with the pot over there, cooking myself some green beans, corn, maybe a thing of noodles, Spam, all those things, the good stuff, and yum. Anyway, good night. I'm watching TV.